What is this? Lo and behold, it's another podcast from the Movie Guys. Of sorts, as you may or may not know if you're listening or watching this show, the movie Showcast has ridden off into the sunset. However, we have some good news. It will be returning intermittently. We're going to be bringing you some interviews now and then, and we'll bring you some whole Showcast shows now and then as well. The weekly version of it, however, has gone away. Now, with that information, we hope anyone who's tuned into us on iTunes will find us also on iTunes now. Look up The New Movie Show. My name is Paul from The Movie Guys, and The New Movie Show is our latest version of a weekly comedy show that we're bringing you. It's still previews of new films that are opening up in theaters. It's still plenty of jokes. It's still plenty of wacky stuff. And the same crew of Movie Guys, Karen, Bart, and Adam, joining me every week. So look up The New Movie Show on iTunes, and of course, go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/TheMovieGuys, and you'll find everything that we're up to there, including this show you're going to listen to in future podcasts. That, again, will just come out a little intermittently. The New Movie Show, however, every week. So thanks for tuning in, and there's a reason to bring this back, the audio form of our show, every once in a while, and this is a good one, as we have in studio. Now, I want to make sure I get your titles right, but we have Chris Cullen and Melody McCune from Whedoncon. Ta-da! But last year you showed up because the Movie Guys will be returning to Whedoncon. Now, this is an all Joss Whedon, all the time convention for fans. And it's a charity convention, so a lot of the money that you pay to get in and spend and all that kind of stuff goes to a couple of certain charities. We're going to get into all of that here in a second. But first, let me get your titles right. What do you two do? And introduce yourselves for this great Whedoncon event.
Well, I am Chris Cullen, and I am co-head of social media for Whedoncon.
Which can't be a small task.
No.
Who are you co-heading it with? Melody. Okay, that's your new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I think I said you were with programming,
We were.
Now you've moved over into social.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, still a huge task though.
It's a beast,
yeah,
that's for sure, but it's a lot of fun.
So, Melody, tell us about how often you're on there, what sort of stuff you have to tell people, and of course, where people can go to find out all things they need to know about Whedoncon.
Well, I run the Twitter account. Chris runs the Facebook. I usually post about 4 or 5 times a day. We usually have like a set. We try to coordinate as much as we can, but especially getting closer to the con, we kind of have like a set schedule about the things that we want to talk about. I also try to post like fun, Whedon jokes and GIFs and things to just kind of keep people and their eyes on us. So they can follow us at Whedoncon on Twitter. And then they can go to Whedoncon.com, obviously, for more information.
So, piece of cake. Are you on Instagram as well?
Yes,
we are. Facebook too?
Facebook.
See, it's not so easy a job. Multi-platform. It's busy, isn't it? Anytime you try and do that. I'm trying to do it for Movie Guys and I'm sweating.
No, it's tough. We have our team right now divided among platforms.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm the Facebook and the newsletter, and Mel is the Twitter. Pretty much, she just runs the Twitter. I've got a couple people who come in and help with the Facebook sometimes, but Mel's pretty self-sufficient with the Twitter. And then we have someone in on Tumblr and someone in on Instagram. And we try to coordinate as best we can with the big news. But otherwise, we just kind of fill our days with Whedon stuff, Whedon references. And then when we roll out the news, we keep people talking is what we try to do.
What's the latest thing you've rolled out news-wise going on at Whedoncon?
Well, I know that the first thing I talked about today was our prom at the Bronze Party on Saturday night.
We went to that last year. That was fun, and it's coming. So it's coming
fun.
back, yeah.
Yes.
And who's our musical guest?
Ooh, well, we have the Fallen Stars. It's one of our bands, and then who's the
Are
other
they playing
band?
the prom again?
Yeah, they're playing the prom.
We're not programming.
I know.
I'm not positive who's playing.
You find out things from programming. Like, oh, how exciting!
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it's news to me too.
But I know it's going to be fun. It was a lot of fun last year.
It was great. It was a nice end night end capper, I guess.
We're still having the costume contest this year too, that we had during the prom last year. I don't know if we're doing that again this year at the same time.
Combining. I saw it on the schedule, the cosplay contest.
Yes,
So
cosplay
come as your
contest.
favorite Whedonverse character.
And we're having the talent judge it this year. So that should be a lot of fun.
Oh, now who would that be?
Well, Nicholas Brendan, Dagny Kerr, and I believe Camden Toy.
Nice. Chris,
sorry. Mel's looking for input on who to cosplay for next weekend. So
I am.
if you have any suggestions.
You specifically?
Me specifically. It doesn't have to be Whedon related.
Obviously, that
Well,
would be
what
nice,
do people tell you right away when they see it? You can look for a photo of us at the Movie Guys Facebook page. That'll post up there as well as
Need a
Twitter.
reference. Yeah.
So, redhead, right?
Redhead, yeah.
Thin,
Anybody.
pretty. So that's like 100 Whedonverse girls, right? Felicia Day or Allison Hannigan. You could go as any one of those. Is anyone you want to come as this year?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you guys do it last year? Or were you too busy coordinating?
Too busy coordinating.
Yeah.
I want to try to be better this year.
There you go.
I suggest Peggy Carter, as I
Yes,
always suggest Peggy Carter.
She is my fave.
Now, would you go like for a wig, or would you just do up as you are and say, you get it, right?
You get it. Yeah, I would just get the hat, the red hat, and the blue dress.
'Cause some people are hardcore. They got to go full, everything it takes.
But I'm not that kind of person. I like to think I am, but no.
Plus, people will be looking for you the day of, like we need help, and then they can't find you.
They can't find me.
But overall, since we've kind of launched into details about Whedoncon, Chris, give us the overall of what this whole event is.
Okay.
I mean, pretty much, I think an all Joss Whedon fan convention sums it up, but go into detail a little bit first.
We are by fans for fans. We are a product of Fandom Charities and Whedonopolis. Whedonopolis, the news site, and Fandom Charities is a charitable organization. We are our own thing, though. Of course, we're Whedoncon, and every year we choose different charities. This year, we're raising money for 2 different charities with our convention, and they're really exciting this year, actually. So the first one is the Al Wooten Jr. Heritage Center, which was a passion project of the late Ron Glass from Firefly, who played Shepherd Book. And this charity really was very high up on his priority list. Like, he spent years contributing and working for this charity, and when he passed, I mean, they even spoke at his memorial service, is how much they
He wasn't just, put my name on it.
Yeah,
he was involved.
He was involved, and it really meant a lot to him. And so when he passed, we wanted to do something special, and so we've decided that this is going to be our primary charity this year, is the Wooten Center. And what the Al Wooten Jr. Heritage Center does is it provides free after-school programming for students in grades 3 through 12 who don't have somewhere else to be for those hours after school. And then in the summer, it provides affordable summer programming for kids in grades 3 through 12. And so I think that it's an incredibly worthy cause. I used to teach elementary school, and I think it's just absolutely wonderful to be able to give these kids somewhere safe, somewhere where they can be accountable, somewhere where they can be helped, and somewhere where they can be safe.
And doing it through geekery.
Right, of course, and that's always the beauty, right?
Yeah.
So whenever we do choose our charities, it's not even just we get to do something wonderful and make the world a little bit better. It's we get to do it with a big smile on our face.
Yeah, I'm spending $30 anyway.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Why would we not do this? Have all this fun while we're raising money for charity. And then our second charity is My Friend's Place, which is a homeless shelter that offers homeless services. But it doesn't just provide food and shelter and hygiene supplies. It actually goes the extra mile and provides these kids with access. Oh, and it's specifically a youth homeless shelter. And it provides these kids with access to the arts and access to education opportunities. And like My Friend's Place, it really just blows me away what they're able to do with their resources. And so I'm really happy that we'll be representing them as well. And they also have this reputation that I think is kind of important because it's a shelter for homeless youth, right? They have this reputation as being the safe space for LGBT youth, which is actually very significant in when we're talking about like homeless teens and runaways, because there's a disproportionate number of
they've probably been forced out by
our
uncompromising, caring parents.
Exactly. And so it's really important that if you're fleeing an unhealthy or dangerous situation, that you do have a safe place to land. And my friend's place has this reputation for being that all-inclusive, judgment-free, safe place.
That's cool.
And so I think that just makes it even better.
That's cool.
And I love that. Like I said, I used to teach. I think that our charities are so worth it. It's so exciting to be able to help kids and to be able to give to causes that I know are absolutely worthy and powerful.
Karen from the Movie Guys, who is not here today, but you've heard her on the show before. She and I did a play. It must be about 10 years ago now. But we raised money for Gilda's Club, which is Gilda Radner's charity for cancer support. Now, both of our parents were dealing with cancer at the time. Mm-hmm. So they're in New York. So we didn't know what we do. It's like, hey, let's just help somebody. And the karma's got to help, And sure enough, you just feel better about your life when you're doing things you enjoy at the same time helping people. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a good thing. I mean, come to Whedoncon. Feel good about yourself, and then feel good about yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's the bonus. That's the extra bonus. Is Phantom Charities a thing wider than just Whedoncon?
It is.
Oh, okay.
We fall under their umbrella. I couldn't tell you the specifics of what that umbrella is.
Oh, but what other cons do they put on? Other cons?
I don't believe they put on other cons. I think we're their con.
Oh, I see. But other fan-related events that are for charity. But
yes.
this is the big one.
Is
All right,
the main
so
one.
now you got to come on out.
Right.
And it's May 19th through 21st.
Yes.
And it's at the Warner Center Marriott in Los Angeles.
New venue this year.
A big shiny one. Have
New
you been
and
out there?
improved.
There were what? 4 rooms last year?
Right.
Yeah.
There were 4 rooms, and I think there was 5, but there was one that we didn't really use in that other building. So really there were 4 rooms, but you've seen the schedule this year.
Yeah. There's already like 5 things going on at the same time. Yeah. No one should be bored.
And then you had the media room, the screening room, the game room.
We have 250 hours of programming this year.
Very nice.
250 hours.
So, Melody, then tell us about who can we expect to see there if you're looking at the schedule. Who from the Whedonverse is showing up?
Oh, well, my favorite that I'm really excited about is Nicholas Brendan, who, I mean, if you don't know who he is and you're a Whedon fan, then why are you coming? So Nicholas,
but come anyway.
But come anyway. Please come.
Come learn who he is.
For those of you who are like, but I love Harry Potter. Okay, we love you too. And Nicholas Brendan played Xander on the Buffy TV show.
Yes, but we are inclusive of all fandoms. So even if you're not super big into Whedon, we have people from other universes that are coming.
Yeah.
You will
by
be.
May 21st.
I'm really excited about him. Well,
I remember last year he was scheduled to come, then he couldn't make it the last one. Sent that little video where he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But he promised to come this year.
And he's coming.
And he's coming. So
that's cool.
I'm really excited about him. Who else?
You mentioned Camden Toy.
Toy.
Featured in a number of major episodes of Buffy and Angel, right?
I'm really excited about David Fury.
Oh, yeah. He's our guest of honor.
Yes.
Oh, what does the guest of honor entail? Does he get a throne or a parade or anything?
Well, it's BYO throne, but if you do, we'll carry it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's in the contract. Yeah,
right. Even the social media guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Grab a stool. We're picking them up. We're carrying them around. Now, who would be on your wish list? Because this is just starting out already. You tried to get Nicholas, didn't work out. He's coming back the next year. I mean, obviously, if you could get Joss there, it'd be the greatest.
Yes.
But in the meantime, I mean, it's pretty easy, I think, to pick who might be big deals to get under. Like David Boreanaz shows up, or Sarah Michelle. Do you say Geller or Gellar?
I say Geller.
Okay, so do I.
I've never heard that.
I've heard that a bunch.
Says Gellar?
And it seems, dude, that's how she pronounces it. It doesn't make any sense.
Did you tell them they're wrong?
Oh, wait,
I did, but then I got pushback on
that. What? Oh man.
But
you're blowing my mind.
I know. I've never heard that.
I mean, as a movie guy, I obviously love even more than I'm actually underversed on the TV shows. I've seen important things, but I've seen Dr. Horrible and that kind of stuff, which isn't necessarily a TV show, but it kind of falls in the middle of a movie and a TV show.
It does.
And that's great. God, that's great. But I mean, to me, The Avengers is right up there with Captain America: Civil War. Is probably the 2 greatest Marvel movies that have been as of yet.
Absolutely.
And that's all Joss,
Now, as far as Joss's movies, what have you seen? Cabin in the Woods?
Oh yeah, Cabin in the Woods is good. No, it's not. That's directed by, was it Matt Reeves? No, who made that?
No.
No, it's I love him.
I know this.
Goddard.
Yes,
Drew Goddard.
Drew Goddard.
Showrunner
Oh.
of Daredevil, writer of The Martian. Yeah, I mean, Drew Goddard is the man. Oh.
Okay.
He'd be
I learned
great
something
to
new
get.
today.
Yeah, he would be.
Work on getting him.
Oh,
There's so much
that
you
would
could
be-
talk about.
That would be amazing. Well, we're so excited about David and Tim, though. This is really like bringing in writers and producers from the Buffyverse. We're giving a totally different perspective than we were able to give last year. Like, this is something, they're bringing things to the table that you don't get a whole lot at conventions. And I'm really excited for their panels. Like, I want to hear the kind of stories that they have to tell.
And it's David Fury and Tim.
And Tim
Minear.
Minear. I feel like
okay.
we have more of a diverse group of talent this year. I mean, I feel like last year we were very actor heavy, which is fantastic. But like Chris said, we have writers, we have producers, we have stunt coordinators, we have visual effects artists. I'm personally really excited. I love the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And we have the visual effects coordinator, Mark Kolpak, who's going to be there. And I'm very excited to hear some like behind the scenes S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff.
Okay, I want you to tell me this then, because I heard early on from people that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not that great. And they said that the fight scenes were kind of weak and characters who were supposed to be amazing weren't kicking ass the way they should. But now people are posting that the show is out of hand awesome.
It's
So did it make it?
fantastic.
Did you love it from the beginning?
I actually did.
Yeah?
I mean, I understand people's complaints. It was kind of slow starting out, but once we got to the Captain America,
There is a
Winter
moment
Soldier
where the
when
show...
S.H.I.E.L.D. went
crossover.
down, right?
Yes.
They-
that episode from there on out, it just took off.
oh, that's good.
And this season has been
Now
phenomenal.
I'll binge. See, there's someone saying should binge Heroes, and the next thing I know, it turned to crap and ended. And I'm like, oh, I
Right.
don't want to. Now I
No,
don't
no.
want to jump in.
So
I
S.H.I.E.L.D.
know.
definitely starts a little slowly.
It's a little slow.
I will say that they pay you back for it.
Oh.
I remember the whole
In
first
full.
season, the first like 16 episodes, it's just kind of like one-off stories. And you're like, man,
it's almost like
you
a monster
know,
of the week type
yeah.
thing.
I love that in X-Files.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
like the
it's-
overall arc of X-Files was okay, but the Monster of the Week stuff was just the best.
And the Monsters of the Week stuff is good, but like of course Buffy and Angel, they have Monster of the Week. Firefly even had like Threat of
But
the
they
Week.
still have like an
But
overarching
they had an arc
story.
and S.H.I.E.L.D.'s arc was undefinable for that first like 6 because, and this was really specific, like Marvel and the network, and they were holding on to their secrets tight about S.H.I.E.L.D. collapsing. So they said, you can start your show this year, but you can't do the cool stuff until April. And then so like the second that Winter Soldier came out, that it was like Winter Soldier came out on so first of all, there's an episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. leading up to Winter Soldier that like explains to you how everyone gets on that boat. Like they were really well integrated. And then so it was like S.H.I.E.L.D. leaves the cliffhanger on Tuesday, Winter Soldier comes out Friday,
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. falls on S.H.I.E.L.D. that following Tuesday. And that moment in that episode is called Turn, Turn, Turn.
Ah,
And that moment,
so
it was the
good.
turning point for the series. And from there, it just whoosh, launched into, it went from like, oh, there's a new S.H.I.E.L.D. This is me personally, obviously. To like the last 6 episodes of the season, I was like, S.H.I.E.L.D. is the best thing on TV
Okay.
right now.
See, now Melody loved it from the beginning. I get, but I've heard, Chris, your story more often recently from people than any other, that it's time to come around to it. And Melody, Ghost Rider showed up? Is that right?
yes.
Okay, now you got to talk to the visual effects guy. Now I want to hear about how they put
And
Ghost Rider together on the show.
He was in the beginning of this season, and he actually just came back. I don't know if I want to get too spoilery, but the effects for Ghost Rider are outstanding.
Cool.
Well, the effects in general are
Oh,
just
they're
Well, that's
amazing.
good. I gotta admit. Okay, I watched Daredevil. I think Daredevil's outstanding.
We need to talk about one of our guests then.
Ooh, who do
we
you have?
do.
Christos Gage,
Who plays?
who wrote
Oh,
the first,
Yes.
who was on the writing team for the first season of Daredevil.
oh, okay.
And wrote, I think, the 9th episode of the first season. But he
Yeah.
also wrote all of Angel and Faith season 9, all of Buffy season 10, and he actually collaborated with Nicholas Brendan on season 10, and then all of Buffy season 11.
Well, there you go.
The comics. So
So
he's a
Daredevil
Marvel guy,
pulling
too.
from fertile ground
Yeah.
to get their writers.
Yeah, because he had written a lot of Marvel comics, especially like slightly obscure ones. He created titles and then made them really interesting.
Well, something about those shows. I mean, I haven't seen Luke Cage. I've seen half of Jessica Jones. I enjoy that too.
I love
And
Jessica
I haven't
Jones.
seen Iron Fist yet. But those shows on Netflix look like movies on television.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And then I checked out like Arrow and Flash, and they
Yeah.
look like TV shows.
I
mean,
just can't get into the
some
DC
people tell me
universe.
Flash is great. Arrow's goofy, but Flash is really good.
I've heard that too.
But when I tune in, it just looks like a TV show. And somehow on Netflix, they've crafted this look where Daredevil looks like a movie. It just happens
it's
to be 13
astonishing.
parts
Yeah.
or whatever. You know, so if S.H.I.E.L.D. can start looking like the Netflix universe of Marvel movies, then that's a big plus.
And I think they're getting there. I mean, they have more of a budget. I mean, it's Marvel, obviously, but the effects have improved over the 4 seasons. I mean, that I've noticed.
Well, I would think that S.H.I.E.L.D., no matter the budget size, they do, like the visual effects team, they do so much.
So much work.
So much more than you think. We had a visual effects panel last year for S.H.I.E.L.D. at Whedoncon, and they showed us, and Mark Kolpak and members of his team were there. I think he'll be coming alone this year. But he brought members of his team, and they got up, and they showed a clip of, and it was like a highlights reel, basically, of moments from the show. And then they went back and peeled back what wasn't real. And, of course, you were like, okay, the Quinjet's not real. But then you're like, wait, the roof's not real?
The whole building
The door's
is gone.
not real? The building's not real? The actor's not really there? Like, blew you away, the number of things that they affect and create and change. And I saw them at WonderCon. And they were talking about the episode that had just aired, and it was the for S.H.I.E.L.D. fans listening. It was the mid-season finale, sort of that like not mid, but it was in February or March. The last one where we see the framework for the first time in the final moments, and they created like DC with the Triskelion from Winter Soldier. Like they rebuilt the Triskelion and put it, and it's on the Potomac, and they're like, it's astonishing what they could do from what angles and and you don't even process that it's not really there. So
I saw the same thing at NAB for Walking Dead.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And it's amazing to think how much of Walking Dead wasn't there when you think,
Really?
they just found a prison and they shot on it. Well, not for every shot. For shots where the wall's blown out, they showed the actors walking through a little set of a wall blown out on a green screen. The whole building was put in around
So
it.
the
that kind
prison
of stuff.
wasn't real?
It was. But,
Okay.
But when they needed when they needed a shot that was more complicated or complex, and they needed to put it in with effects, and it's. Again, the peel away is amazing, and if they show anything
incredible.
like that again, where it's here's the finished shot, let's just peel that away to the raw footage. You just like
it blows your mind.
What?
Yeah. And then we also had someone who had last year who's coming back this year from S.H.I.E.L.D. is Gary D'Amico, who is the special effects supervisor.
yes.
So Mark is the visual effects
Got
supervisor.
it.
Gary's the special effects supervisor. I could tell you what they do, but
He
mix
just
up the
blows
terms.
stuff up.
And he blows stuff up. Like that's what he calls himself, the guy who makes things go boom.
Splot explosion.
And he brought last year he had this behind the scenes video, and I'm pretty sure it was for an episode that hadn't aired yet last year.
Really?
I don't remember.
I don't remember which
But
episode.
it was a behind
either.
like he took it with his phone. And he was like, and here's our actors running from a fireball that's real that I sat there. And so it was fun. It was like the exact opposite of what Mark, and they were on the same panel at the time. So it was funny. They were like, well, here's where you see that they're not really doing this. And he's like, and here's where I did put their life in danger.
A combination
but
of the two is the
professionally and
best.
safely.
Yeah, if you combine the two, that's the best. Because you're going to
Yeah.
need visual effects, obviously, to do some things. But a real explosion or putting actual stuntmen in danger, God bless them, I don't want to put you in danger. But if you're willing to do it, the payoff for the film is so much better. I mean, look at I
Absolutely.
always go back to my favorite movie of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Look at the truck chase where Indy's on the horse chasing down the guys trying to get the Ark out of the back of the truck. He's throwing dudes off the side of the truck. He's jumping on top. They're flying off the front. He's crawling underneath. I mean, all that stuff is just so dangerous. It's fun to watch. And if they just faked too much of that, there was something about being in 1981 where you're having some restrictions actually benefits the film.
So
I think a
speaking-
combination of the two is best.
So,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
So, speaking of stunt people, stunt workers, stunt performers, we have so Jeff Pruitt, who was the stunt coordinator for seasons 2, 3, and 4 of Buffy, and his wife, Sophia Crawford, who was Buffy's stunt double.
Oh, nice.
Are coming. And then...
no shortage of work for her. I'm sure they've employed her every day. Get in here, haven't you kick someone's ass again?
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. and then so... and then we have Steve Tartaglia, who was Spike's stunt double.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of cool. We've got...
have them mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, and they're doing this... and there's a couple stunt demos, and I'm not sure who's distributed to where for which program event, but we also have this. I would say this is probably the thing I'm most excited about the whole convention, is that Jeff Pruitt worked on set for 3 years, like recording and performing and practicing these stunts, and he took a bunch of behind the scenes footage, and this is a Buffy seasons 2, 3, and 4, and he said he has over 4 hours of like just filming on the set of Buffy, and he is planning to condense into a highlights reel and show this never before seen behind the scenes footage.
Awesome.
At their panel, which and he gave us a little taste of it for a video that we put out a couple months ago. And it's like Joss Whedon turning and saying like, "Can I set a guy on fire?" Like, and it's a lot of just like off the cuff, behind the scenes, probably long forgotten stuff, and Buffy fans love hard, so I think that's going to be the missing piece to some people's puzzle.
Well, and
I
they
really am
haven't
excited.
done a convention since 2000, right?
They've never done a convention in the United States.
Yeah,
Sophia
that
and
was
Jeff,
like in Scotland.
For their roles in Buffy.
Okay.
They did appear at a Power Morphicon here. They also both worked on Power Rangers, but yeah, their last convention was in Scotland.
So this is like really never before seen footage.
Okay.
So that's why y'all gotta come.
There's a lot going on. So Melody, tell us the cost to come and check this out.
Okay. Well, we just released new prices for our weekend membership. It's $45 for 3 days.
Really?
$45 for 3 days.
$45 for 3 days. That's like nothing.
3 days,
right?
250 hours of programming.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to find a deal like that anywhere else. And what's really special about our con is that you get really these intimate connections with the talent. You're not just sitting in a room and then there's a table between you and you're just listening to them talk. Like, we have all these opportunities for you to interact with our guests on a personal level. So yeah, it's $45 for the weekend. It's $20 per day.
No, actually, it's gone. Yes.
Yes. Sorry, the price is
the price is just changed.
Just changed. So we're trying to get used to the new ones, but I think it's $20 for adults per day.
It's going to be around there though, which is still super affordable.
Exactly.
You're not paying $60-$70 a day.
And then we do have military discounts. We have. Oh, Chris, are you pulling up?
I am. I'm pulling it up. Okay, so
Thank you.
Whedoncon.com, of course, has
Yes,
this laid out.
Whedoncon.com.
Yes. So the full weekend, of course, is $45 for the membership.
Wow.
For Friday, you can go for
Thank you.
$20 if you just wanted to go for Friday, and then Mel,
Saturday
you can take
is $30, and then Sunday's $20. We have youth prices.
So you literally get half price to buy the weekend.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you bought each day,
Yeah,
it's
if you
like
bought each
$90.
day. Mm-hmm.
And this is only until Sunday.
The 14th
Right? The
is
14th,
when
yeah.
our online prices end. So will this air by then by any chance?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
So you have 2 days.
Yeah, so, yeah, because the 14th is the last day to pay the online price, and then everything will go up just a little bit. But, like, the weekend, it's only going to go up, I think, to $50.
Yeah, which is still a steal.
It might, yeah, so I still think it's just a wonderful deal. And if you think about what we do have, if you take a look at our programming, like, with the makeup tutorials, the demonstrations, the screenings, the, like... the price is so cheap. Like, I think I really and then all the money's going to charity. So I think that I feel like if you were going to a makeup tutorial done by the guy who actually does the makeup for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a real thing we have, and it was in West Hollywood or it was in Hollywood, you pay $20 just to go to that.
Yeah.
Why won't you pay $15 a day and then go to
I
all the
think
other
they
parties
would.
and
I
panels
think people
too?
would. And I want to
I think so.
I want to tell you a story about the interaction you get with guests. last year, Bart, one of our movie guys, sat in on a diversity panel with Damien Potier.
Yes.
And so we'd never known him or met him.
And he's coming back.
But lo and
coming
behold,
back, yeah.
we chatted with him afterwards, struck up a friendship. He showed up on our podcast, came and talked, and we went in depth, for an extra. You can find that on the YouTube page or the iTunes page. Look for our extended talk with him. We, his thoughts on diversity were fantastic, but we got him in here. We talked about all sorts of stuff, cool, because he was like beating people up in Thor, and he's in Civil War, and of course all the Whedon shows. So it was cool to talk stunts with him for an extended period of time, and that sort of, like you said, there was access to him, so you could just go up and say hi and chat, and he was open to it. So
yeah, there's a phrase I like to use when I'm talking about Whedoncon. I like to call us intimate by design.
There you go.
Like,
It's a good phrase.
We're never going to be San Diego Comic-Con where you wait in line, and nor do we want to be.
Nor do you want to charge $350.
Right, where you wait in
no.
line for an overnight, and the point is, you're coming because of this experience that we can offer for you, and our talent is there and accessible, and we have these. So we're very we're all about experience this year. So our meet and greets, for example, are they're really radical, and I'm really into them. Do you know the game Cards Against Humanity?
Yes.
So our meet and greets this year, if you purchase a meet and greet with one of our celebrity guests, you and 9 other people, because we cap it out at 10, sit down with them for an hour and play Cards Against Humanity.
So it's not just, I like you. Well,
No,
I appreciate you saying hello. Bye.
It's like, it was so nice to meet you, handshake, or loved you on Buffy. No, it's like, you're going to have inside jokes with these people.
Cool.
This is all what we're about, is that we're about capturing, cultivating, curating this wonderful experience that when you walk away from it, the first thing you think is, when can I go back? And we have these cocktail parties too. Now, some of these are, so obviously meet and greets, cocktail parties, those are additional costs. But luckily, with our new price drop, you're still in a very, very reasonable ballpark with these. And so it's the meet and greets are $25. So for $25, you get an hour playing a game that's probably raucous and, who are we kidding, probably raunchy with the celebrity you choose.
We know this game.
Right.
Yes, we do.
And I think that's so cool. And then it's only 9 other people. So you get to talk to them. You get to play with them. They're going to remember you. And frankly, they're probably going to say hi to you when they walk by you in the hall the next day. And then so we have these cocktail parties, and we have these teas, and they are collective meet and greets. So you can actually save money if you think about each person's meet and greet being $25. Then maybe you want to look into a cocktail party, because each cocktail party comes with, it's $60 for 2 hours, and you get to mingle with 4 of our guests for 2 hours in a cocktail party situation, and you get 2 free drinks that are included in the price of your
And this
ticket.
is LA, so that's $25.
That's what I
for
said.
2 free drinks.
Yeah, I said okay, so it starts at 60, but you get 2 cocktails,
also
so we're
get
talking
hors
about
d'oeuvres.
30.
You get food.
Yeah, and you get hors d'oeuvres.
As a party should have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's 2 hours mingling with the other people and the talent who's there, and it's 4 people for every party, and we've got 2 of those cocktail parties. One of them is on Friday night, one of them is on Saturday night, and they are the Wolfram and Hart Company cocktail party. So it's our some of our villains.
Nice.
And then the other one is the Women of Whedon cocktail party, and they also both have private performances. And I'm not sure who's performing at which ones, but I think that information should be up on our website. But there's private performances at these cocktail parties too. So you're getting a show, your drinks, your snacks, your mingle. I think it's a steal.
It's definitely worth the money.
And then we also have teas. So if you're not a big drinker, or if you're not planning to do evening programming, then, and of course there are virgin cocktails available if you want to come and not drink. But we have these teas, and they're both on Sunday. And in the morning, we have Registered Companions tea, which is a Firefly theme, and it has Firefly flavored treats, like little strawberry treats, and a tea, and it's very supposed to be a formal, have you seen Firefly? It's supposed to be modeled after the Companion. I know a couple people on our staff are planning to dress almost like Inara from Firefly, wear something silky, something fancy. But of course, that's not required. And it's $45, and that's also 2 hours with tea, light snacks, and 4 celebrities. And then we have an afternoon tea in the library, which is the same thing, but it's an English afternoon tea, and it's slightly Buffy themed.
Wow.
I know, but so these
There's a lot
special
going
events,
A
yeah.
lot going on.
And I mean, these are just
250
the
hours?
extra things.
Yeah.
There's also the 250 hours of things that are included with your price.
Melody, is there anything you learned from last year going into this? Because last year was the inaugural year.
Oh,
And so putting together this year, did anyone on the team go, okay, let's do this that we didn't do last year, or let's not do this that we did last year, or any kind of changes like that?
Well,
An inaugural year can be, rough.
it can be rough, but I think that we pulled it off.
I think you did.
Absolutely, for our first year. It's going into this year in a different position entirely. Like we said, we're not programming anymore. We're just social media. But in terms of...
How did social grow from
How did
year
social
1 to
grow?
year 2?
Oh, I think it grew immensely.
Doubled?
Really well.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I can't give you that for sure because we didn't join social media until January. So I don't know where it was at the end of last year, but I can tell you while we've been on it, we've raised it significantly. Mel's up a third, right? A little more.
I'm not really paying attention to that.
Oh, okay.
She's all about content. She's putting out
I'm
content.
all about
Can't sit
content,
there and count
Chris.
numbers.
It's about
Well, I'm
quality.
You count the
tracking.
numbers. You
So,
track. She's
I can
doing
talk
content.
numbers. Yeah, so we have increased since we took over in January. We have increased the Twitter by 35%, as a number of followers, but as in number of reach, we're consistently pretty high performing. But in Twitter, the reach doesn't equate followers, whereas in Facebook it can. So our Facebook, I don't know, we reached 70,000 people this week. So that's exciting. I've been putting out a lot of
What if they all showed up?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Wouldn't
70,000
You're
people.
opening the door like... That would be a lot, right?
The
Did you have that
doors
many
would just
last year?
come off the hinges.
Do we have 70,000?
No, you did not, right?
Oh,
No,
no.
we were
You didn't have 2 Dodger stadiums full of people.
no, but so that's what's funny about social media is that you reach all of these people.
Yeah, translating
But
into
what
a
does it
presence.
do?
Yeah.
And there's this thing called conversion rate, and it's about how many of the people that you convince to come to your site are buying. And so that's what we talk about, and that's what we're
It's
learning
easy to
about.
click a like, but to get
Oh,
off
it's
your
so
ass and go see
Exactly.
that thing that you liked in person.
Well, and the other thing
the
is,
challenge.
you can love Whedoncon and live
Sounds
in
like we're back
Minnesota.
at the Airtel
Yeah.
by the
It
Van Nuys
does.
Airport,
Does,
doesn't it?
which is where
That's
we
what
had
happens when we
last year.
record during the day.
Deja vu.
Yeah, but you can love Whedoncon. You can like Whedoncon and post on our site every day, but live in Florida or live
Yeah.
in Minnesota
Yeah, exactly.
or live in Hawaii.
Well, I have
and that doesn't mean you can get there next weekend.
Well, I have people that reach out to me on Twitter all the time. They're like, you should have one on the East Coast. You should have one in Florida.
We're weirdly popular in Australia.
Weirdly
when I track,
popular
when
in
I track
Australia.
our progress
Yeah.
of like where our posts are going. Yeah, and Brazil, I think.
Yeah.
Let's go with 2 favorite things here. First of all, your favorite Joss Whedon property. What is your thing? Is it Buffy? Is it Firefly? Is it Much Ado About Nothing?
Oh, I do.
What is it?
That's my favorite Shakespeare play in general. I think Joss Whedon property. I love Buffy.
Yeah.
I love Buffy. I think Buffy and Angel are probably
Yeah, I was gonna
tied
say the
for
same
me.
thing, and I think of them as one.
They're kind of one. Yeah,
They
it'd be
are
like,
kind
I
of
like Cheers
one.
and Frasier.
They're two sides of
They
the same coin.
they
though,
complement each other so well. I mean, obviously Angel is a little darker and a little more mature, but I think they complement each other really well. So it's hard for me to pick one over the other.
Been a fan from the beginning? Or did you come in late and binge?
I kind of came in late and binge. I didn't really start Buffy until I was in college, but I'd actually started watching Angel first. I remember watching it when it was still on the air.
I was on Angel.
What?
I was an extra.
Wait.
Still, that's so cool.
There was
First of
some-
all, I feel like you told us this last year.
I think I did.
and
so
I forgot,
too.
Yeah.
and I get the pleasure of learning again. What were you doing?
There was
Because we
this-
tried to figure out what episode it was.
Yeah, I
last
wish
year.
I could remember. This shot up in Simi Valley in this underground reservoir.
Yes.
But the whole thing looked creepy with these columns.
Were
and
you wearing hood?
Yeah, hoods
and
and
a
masks, and we were worshiping this sort of crazy demon, and there was a big fight going on. All we did was stand in
I'm
the
like-
background.
So
Picturing the
I
episode
know
in my
the
head.
scene.
Yeah.
I
And this is
know.
where I was a year ago too, because I remember you saying almost those same words a year ago. I can picture the scene, but I can't remember what episode it is.
Not the episode title, but yeah.
Well, let me tell you what we'll be doing, the movie guys, at the great Whedoncon. So these are both Saturday events. So Saturday the 20th, the movie guys live at Whedoncon. That'll be from 3 to 5. We're bringing back the Showcast format. We're going to do our podcast live show, guests, wacky stuff. We're going to preview summer movies, talk to people, and talk to people at the con, get them on mic, find out what's going on, and have some fun with that. Plus, 6:30 p.m. that same night, Saturday the 20th, Wolverine's retirement party and celebrity superhero roast. Last year, we did the superhero celebrity roast and peace summit because everyone was fighting Batman, Superman, the Civil War with the Avengers. So they all came together and healed through humor. Of course, it didn't go well. I don't imagine Wolverine's retirement party will go well either. But Wolverine, he retired. He's done. So all the superheroes get together, throw him a big roast, and I'm sure Bedlam will ensue.
6:30 till when? How long is that?
6:30 to 7:30. Chances are that'll be about right.
I loved the superhero roast.
I know, you're actually
last year.
breaking my heart right now because we are working one of the cocktail parties.
Are
We're so
we?
excited about, but it's at 7.
Oh, no.
So we might only catch the first act.
You just
I hope
broke
you're
my heart
recording
just
it.
now. I didn't know that.
Are you recording it again?
Recording. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
here's
good,
a
good.
little bit of last year's. Let me see if how much of it actually plays on
Flying
on
racist, sexist Swamp Thing.
radio. He's set to return.
Yeah.
We're hoping
Yes.
to get Wonder Woman is booked,
Oh.
as
Oh,
is
no.
Tony Stark and
But I'm
another
really excited about
special
Swamp Thing.
guest.
That's
Coming to you live from the Lindbergh Room at the Airsdale Plaza Hotel in the entertainment capital of the world, Van Nuys, California. It's the Movie Guys Superhero Peace Summit and Celebrity Road.
It's good to see so many of you. Hawkman is here, of course, in the back. I see Moon Knight. Thank you for coming. Ant-Man, Uncle Woman, Billy Zane, they're all here. And I believe you're here because you know the importance of a night like this. We've been bickering too much lately. I mentioned it before. Myself and Tony, Batman and Superman, Deathstroke and Deathlock, you're both pretty, all right? But I thought the best way to come together would be through laughter. I'm glad you all took me up on this in the first ever Superhero Peace Summit and Celebrity Roast. Say let's get ready for Batman, you're going to eat a lot of crap tonight, but beforehand, I want to make sure to set things up just with a positive force. You are making you are to superheroics what Michael Jackson is to music. Right? Just a mega grossing superstar, vaguely gay, and stopped being important around 2009. Now, I wanted to dig up some dirt on Black Widow, so I Googled her, and all I found was a page that said, who? And what can I say about Swamp Thing that hasn't already been said in the movie Flowers for Algernon?
Swamp Thing not get reference. Swamp Thing not well read.
Think about it though, guys. It's Spider-Man. What's he doing in a locker room full of 15-year-old boys? Talk about organic web shooters. Hey, I got one for you. How many superheroes does it take to screw in a light bulb? How many? Just one, but 12 others to ruin 3 city blocks while he does it.
I see Spider-Man is here with us. For those of us who don't know his superpower, he transforms into a different actor every other year. Actually, I think Hulk kind of has the same power because you always know that Bruce Banner will turn into the Hulk, but you can never tell just who the Hulk will turn back into. There's been a lot of tension between superheroes lately. Iron Man and Captain America split up, leaving the rest of the Avengers to choose sides. And I have to say, Marvel must be getting desperate for material if they're adapting my parents' divorce.
We're joined by my teammates, Mr. Captain America and Hawkeye. Hey, Captain, what's that little shield you have there made out of?
Oh, that's vibranium.
Oh, yeah? Really? You know, Hawkeye, you know what his shield is made out of? Quicksilver.
Spoiler.
Give Superman a tough time, though, because he's an alien. He's like the Volpe of superheroes. But don't worry about Superman. I haven't told Donald Trump that you're here and an undocumented immigrant.
I don't want to get all political on you guys. I'm not going to go ahead and start a hashtag Marvel so white or anything. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so whitewashed, they should just call it the Hall of Justins. So Superman, you're going to be so upset later when these jokes are explained to you. A roast, as you know, is when a bunch of funny people tell jokes about each other But I want to know that I'd rather have all of you here than a bunch of funny people. So thank you very much.
Batman, right? So last year it was Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Batman, Superman, and racist, sexist Swamp Thing. Yeah. This year we've got Wonder Woman booked. She has a big movie coming out. I think Bruce Wayne is booked because he'll be in Justice League later this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tony Stark is booked once again because he'll be in Spider-Man: Homecoming, so he wanted to promote his movie. And so then we'll see how else the dais fills out from there.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I imagine with Wolverine's farewell, he'll be there, of course.
Of course.
But then I imagine many of his friends and guests will show up as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's going to be exciting. That's at 6:30 on Saturday.
I suggest inviting Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
That
Who
would
was
be
supposed to play
ideal.
that? Anna Kendrick?
I don't know. Were they doing a movie?
What
don't
about
know.
Joss
Her name
Whedon's
was-
Batgirl? Have you heard about this?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, so we, there's nothing to it yet, right?
Right. It's
Nothing's-
announced.
Nothing signed. Nothing's
rumored.
dated.
Right.
It's just they're in talks.
Wouldn't it be cool if?
Yeah. But wouldn't it be cool if?
Absolutely.
Like, it's totally his type of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's right up his alley. It's a wisecracking, street smart, crime fighting lady. I think he could do it quite well, and I hope that happens because I don't know. I'm not sure what else he's up to right now.
I just know him. He'll kill her off. Anyway.
He'll find a way.
Yeah.
The good news is Buffy comes back quite a bit. So
That's true.
That's true.
All right, well, let's wrap things up with your favorite movie of all time. I ask everyone who comes on the show, and I think you guys came on last year, and I neglected to ask you because we did just a quicker segment than this last year, and I got you off before I asked your favorite movie of all time. We ask everybody. So I'm glad I can make amends on that. Melody's looking scared to death because this is a difficult question.
I've thought about this for a whole year.
You've got to rifle through a lot of movies to come up with the one.
The one.
Now, it happens over time a lot for me. Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite. I mean, just due to time. Have I seen movies that might be better than that? Maybe. Do I like them more? No. I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. Over time, it's just the greatest. So, whoever's ready, just chime in. But you both look
I'll
sort
never
of...
be ready.
Or, you know what? Sometimes it's like, what's your favorite movie of all time right now?
Okay. That
Or
might be
what
easier
would you
to
watch
answer.
right now if it were on TV and you couldn't change a channel? Because that would mean Pulp Fiction for me.
So
or
I think,
Princess Bride.
I think my answer is, let's just say, I don't think I have a favorite movie of all time, but I probably have like a top 5, and this is one of them. It is the only one I can think of right now, so I'm just going to give it. Clueless.
Okay. We'll call that number
Love
one
Clueless.
for now.
Yeah.
Your favorite movie of all time for now.
Yeah.
Why do you love Clueless so much?
There are things about it that I like because because I'm not crazy about Hi. I work in film. I'm not crazy about film. I like television.
Oh, okay.
Television
See, I'm a movie
speaks
guy.
to me. And so Clueless is one of those it tells the story over the span of a school year. And it has like it basically has act 1 is this story.
Feels like a
Act
season.
2 is this.
Jammed into 2 hours.
And then feels like that's exactly it. And that is actually something I really like. Like I loved the first Sex and the City movie, which is not one of my top 5. But because it lasted a year. It was Sex and the City season 7. And because it did mimic that format, then I appreciate that. And I think that's one of the reasons I like Clueless. The other reason is the language. It reminds me of Buffy in the way that it influenced language and culture and the fashion and the... I don't know, the jokes just keep coming, and it's got a lot of heart, and I like the cast of characters.
Yeah, when a movie can do that, and often somehow, let me rephrase, somehow that same genre manages to find new and exciting ways to have all their characters speak, whether it's Heathers
Right.
or Clueless or
I
Who's
love
the
like
other?
Legally
Mean Girls.
Blonde in there, Mean
Yeah.
Girls, Easy A from
Yeah.
not that long
Yeah.
ago. I throw that in there, and that's my favorite
kind of in the
genre.
The Duff, which is a
haven't
highly
seen that.
I haven't
overlooked
seen
movie.
The Duff.
Oh, it's a John Hughes movie that came out 2 years ago.
Is it?
No, it's not. But it's a
But
John
it
Hughes
fits
movie. They
the
throw a
John
big
Hughes.
party. There's all these different. There's a caste system. You know, people don't get along, and then they learn to. It's all that kind of stuff.
So that genre, I've never found a name for it, but it's my favorite. That like female protagonist doesn't know how cool she is. Is like my favorite.
We'll discover it as she does.
Yes.
That's cool. All right, Melody.
Oh no.
We've delayed with Chris long enough.
Okay.
Well, I think
Plus we got introduced to Paul Rudd, which is
That's
never
true.
bad.
See, I think you're gonna go back. By the way, I think you did ask last year, and I think I said Clueless.
Did you really? Maybe you did.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I think I remember my answer.
Did you dodge the question last year?
No, I did not artfully dodge the question. I think I said Captain America. Winter Soldier was my favorite.
That's a good one.
It's a great one.
Have you seen hail-hydra.com?
No.
Takes you right to
No.
Donald Trump's page on
But-
whitehouse.gov.
That's amazing.
It's the best. Yeah. I'm going to double check that. But tell us why you love...
Ooh, but I don't think that's going to be my answer this year.
What? You've
So-
seen a better movie since Winter Soldier?
No, I will. It's one of my favorites. I think like Chris, I am more of a TV person, but I do have like my top 10. I think I'm gonna go with Mad Max Fury Road as one of my favorite recent movies.
You should have thought of that sooner. You sleep under a poster of it.
I should have.
That's 2 years in a row where a movie, this year it was La La Land, won 6 Oscars but failed to win Best Picture. Kind of crazy.
La
but
La Land's not my favorite.
No, I loved it. Loved it.
I liked it, but
Mad Max
That's
Fury
a
Road, though.
whole-
6 Oscars but couldn't get Best Picture. They just, because they got to be all like...
Who got it that year?
Spotlight.
that's right. I mean, Spotlight
Which
was
is
very
great, but
yeah,
it's
a
more
great
an
movie.
Oscar prestige.
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
You know.
I mean, Mad Max, like
Give the Oscar to Civil War. God, what a great movie.
like hardly any visual effects. It's like basically a 2-hour car chase. And, a guy playing guitar that shoots flames out of it. Who doesn't love that?
The movie's loony. It's
Loony.
just out to lunch.
I remember
Yet
seeing
pulled
it.
off somehow.
I remember seeing it in theaters with my friend. And even just with the opening credits, how it's like in your face. We were just like, what?
I know
the
people-
whole time I sat like this, just watching the movie. I just couldn't take my eyes off of it.
You know what was amazing? I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
So did I.
That
So
was
good.
I mean, like, that was a good movie.
And I'll tell you why. Because, and it won't be too much of a spoiler because I won't tell you exactly what's going on, but at the end of the film, 2 gods are duking it out, more or less.
Yeah.
And that's where a movie could just completely go off the rails. Way too many
Oh, yeah.
special effects, way too little, perhaps, in consequences. They're 2 gods. And what do? Pac-Man call back, and that brings the house down. You're like, that's why the
So
Guardians win,
Yeah.
because
Good.
they'll go right to the edge of where it could completely fail, and they know, wait a minute, we're just having fun here. We proved it from the opening
Oh my
when there
God,
was a
that opening.
massive a spectacle of an action sequence going on, and it's
In the background.
Yeah,
And obviously,
the
you
movie is a
just
win.
gotta love Baby Groot.
Absolutely.
I mean, that movie, I had...
But here's where a franchise added a baby, and it still didn't tank it.
That
Everything that
never
grew-
A
happens.
baby tree,
Yeah.
for that matter.
Both Buffy and Angel did a version of that, and it didn't go so
Yeah,
well.
look at how
either
it
of
sank Mad About You and Family Ties, not Guardians of the Galaxy.
them. No.
No.
Too smart for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, give me the last word again on Whedoncon. What's the place again? I know Woodland Hills, but I don't know the exact
The
hotel.
Warner Center Marriott Hotel.
Okay.
May 19th through 21st. $45 for a
the
whole
weekend.
weekend.
Yes, and this is being recorded on the 12th. It'll go up on the 13th. So you'll have today and the
Thank you.
14th.
Yes.
So the end of the 14th, the day,
Yes.
right, to get these tickets and go play the following weekend.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So much
there'll be time for Alien Covenant, which opens on the 19th. That once it opens, it's open forever. Go
Exactly.
to Whedoncon,
Yeah.
then go see Alien.
Go
right.
see that on Monday.
Yeah, or go see the Midnight Show after a day of frolicking with the Whedonites. Is there a term for all the Whedon fans?
Weed nights. I'd say.
I just made that up. Am I
no,
right?
that's
Is that
an
it?
actual
Oh,
term.
okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that much.
Really? That's the
We'll
one that I
start
hear a
doing
lot.
it and tell them I came up with it.
Okay.
Trademark Paul Preston.
All right. Well, yes. What? Final thoughts?
Nope.
Oh, that's it?
I was trying to think of
just
another one.
Come to our con. We have food.
And tea.
And tea.
yeah.
And a lot of programming.
Cocktails.
We didn't get enough
So
chance to talk about our
much.
programming. Go to our website. Go to Whedoncon, www.whedoncon.com, and check out our program schedules. We have a day programming, evening programming. We have photo sessions for sale now, autographs, these meet and greets I talked about, the cocktail parties and teas, all kinds of exciting things. And we have can I give the websites for our charities?
Sure.
If you want to know more about the Al Wooten Jr. Heritage Center, go to www.wootencenter.org, and that's WOOTEN center.org. And if you want to learn more about My Friend's Place, go to www.myfriendsplace.org.
I had the pleasure of interviewing Ron Glass at the Serenity premiere. I worked the red carpet and interviewed everybody, Joss and Nathan, everybody. It was really cool.
That is really
cool. But Ron was there for that.
So Friday evening of Whedoncon, we will have a short, as part of our opening ceremonies, memorial service to Ron.
Oh, nice. Good call. And then one year we'll get Nate there.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Someday.
Right?
We did.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So come now, get addicted, and then keep coming back every year.
That's right.
Whedoncon. And we will see you there for 2 shows on Saturday, 2 wacky shows, including our superhero roast. So thanks for tuning in, and please come on back. We will be bringing you a showcast like this, live from the show, live from the con in the future. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.